Hi, this is your fellow techie Seaman here, speaking on behalf of Techie Crafts. Let's face it, your software addicted hackers really don't care for the soft skills in the real world. You're the type of person that gets angry on a Facebook group when someone else of their own property does something that does not align to your technical views. I don't know, taking an old 2500 telephone and turning it into a lamp, or joining outrage using a busted RAM to make earrings, or if you're the jackass that likes to control the user's experience because you have nothing better to do because you chose to work in a specific field controlling users in a Microsoft Active Directory, let's just face it, people and users love to admit that they hate you behind your back. They think you're a prick, you constantly berate them, you use slurs like losers, sheeple, noobs, or that goddamn legalese and user language, and dehumanize them at the same time. Don't let order your end users to know how to think of you. You only can control yourself as a human, and can order a domain controller like a slave, but in reality, you can only control your experiences. Hence the Control You campaign at Techie Crafts. And if you use BCOP 990, or hey, you're listening to us on the big BRCK 005. Oh, you could save a checkout on the Etsy checkout. Use BCOP 990, and that's Techie
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford from Clickford Media Services.
And welcome back. It's 2:20 here in Copenhagen and in Miniland here. We're here to talk about technology news. This is coming from you folks down in Miniland. The Miniland Business Review has basically done a story on the Great Recession. Excuse me, the Great. There's there's the Great Depression, Great Recession, and the Great Resignation. I knew I was going to butcher that up. Jeff Peterson wrote a story for the Business Review about the technical people that are basically exiting out in the field here. Let's go live on the phone. This is Jeff Peterson for the review here. He's on our news line with us today. Jeff, thank you for coming on our show. Okay, so my question is, I don't know why the audio's not playing out. Sorry, that's the wrong channel. All right, let's play that out again. Um, is he on? He should be on. I apologize about that. Let's try this again. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good Saturday afternoon. How are you?
All right. Can you tell me what you wrote in your piece?
Well,
Can you explain what you wrote about the Great Resignation in IT professionals?
In our piece, we did a story on the Great Resignation in information technology. Our report basically looked at various. We did a study with 50 CIOs in the area. Some are in some of the big companies, and we asked them a series of questions of what was the Great Resignation in IT.
So can you explain what the reasons? There was multiple reasons. You did multiple researches with CIOs. What did they tell you?
Well, So one of the things that we were looking at and was a lot of it was regulatory in nature. There's a lot of change in laws in terms of technology, and many of the rank and file IT people are just not interested in or not interested thereof getting into the field or just leaving entirely. And there's a lot of fusing of lawyers and technical people, and while you may think they may have a lot in common, they really do not.
In terms of the technical nature of the legal, so there's a lot of jobs that were lost. Apparently, one of the things that you guys did in your reporting was the entry level positions, which is known for a huge turnover, has the biggest need, is the biggest need right now.
We see a lot of turnover in help desk situations. Those people that are on the front lines are basically your in-house geniuses. According to our research, or at least when we talked with our people, one of the common themes was that they the burnout was particularly in help desk because it was the quote unquote dirty job, and as a result, those people just don't want to be doing that.
Um, is this just the ethos that people just have to be the chosen people to learn if they are doing code, they gotta be doing code. They don't want to deal with those so-called end users. Am I far-fetched from that logic?
It's just their ethos and their mindset. They just really believe they got to get into coding or whatever programming or stuff of those nature, and they just cannot. They do not want to deal with people. Maybe it's because they like machines more than they like people, as they say.
Hmm.
But that is the one with the least, the biggest job that the IT professionals want is a help desk.
Yeah, the help desk positions. So what are the other things? One of the things that the IT industry has been changing significantly over the last
Yeah, so DevOps is
DevOps.
what I've been told by people in the industry. It's a combination of people writing code and running particular software, as well as it's a huge focus on automation, automating processes, and so when you get a new computer, you just plug it on the network, and if you have everything coded properly, it basically installs everything. So there's a lot of stuff is being automated, and a lot of the problems in technology is that they do not want their jobs are not needed.
Their jobs are not needed. So is that part of just the people not adapting to the different changes?
Well, and that's another thing too. We have people that are getting to a certain age where they are getting older. They are not. They're not as open, or I shouldn't say open, but they are. They are changing. The business models are changing, and the people that got into this industry 25 or so years ago are it's a different world, and that's it's kind of ironic because they came in a changing the tech models were much different back in the early 90s. So now you're seeing those people age out into the workforce, but again you're seeing a completely uh, really unfortunate change in the way that the business models are, because part of the idea of IT is to basically automate and lower costs for the corporation.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because if you have a generation of people that have learned a certain way, it's hard to reteach them, especially IT was a lot different back when the big iron was
Well,
there.
IT in general is, I think, is not going to be the same as it was back in the day, so to speak. So I think there's a major change in the way businesses are going to, at least technical people are going to have to be more. One of our research notes is a lot of people were certified in one skill set, and for some people you
Right.
have to be a generalist, and unfortunately, I don't know if it's the person's mind or the industry in general, but one of the things that I've been told was that IT has been basically a very specialist driven field. So now when you get into people that can do multiple things, that's like, oh my god, this is wrong because this is not how we were taught. This was the right way to do. And there's a lot of right and wrong stuff when we talk to different people, which we asked when they left their business or left.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for.
there's a lot here. The Great Resignation in ITs is, at least here in this area, is a big deal.
Well, that is interesting. Thank you very much,
Right,
Trevor
thank you.
Christensen. It's 2:28. We'll be back. We'll read some more news and take your calls after the break. This is TechBeat. We're back at 2.
This is click for the base. Yep, what time am I coming back on? 2, okay, 2:34. And I have to hard break at 2:58. Okay, thank you. Do you want me to, oh, sorry, I'm on until, okay, good to know, thank you.
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford from Clickford Media Services.
If you're into hockey, we will get to the the so-called very important pregame show here on BCOP and BRCA. Both stations will be doing pregame coverage on your respected hockey teams. Now, I'm missing my Bruins game right now because I'm too lazy to get the remote control and watch it live here. But yeah, we're going to be here till 3 o'clock here. But in case for anyone that's just wondering here, what's behind me right here, I'm going to have the camera operator, which is yours truly, just zoom in here right around where my Color Classic is. My Color Classic, it would work, except the hard drive failed on me 2 years ago. I took the hard drive out of the the um, the case. I was able to do a plug to Macintosh Librarian on YouTube and Twitter, and I think on Facebook as well. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. She helped me a lot there. So right now, the Color Classic is like a prop. I do think the Trinitron might be. There's some dead pixels, I think. But over here, this is like this is just intentionally. I have a library of books that it's kind of like a set here. It's all David Pogue's books, and it's an ode to David Pogue. It's been there in the backdrop for at least a couple of weeks. Because he's no longer doing the missing manual anymore, unfortunately. I saw that in a tweet, and he DM'd me, and I actually DM'd him just last week because I haven't had a chance to follow up. You can follow me at Minifig News Guy on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and minifigNewsGuy.com in case that's my other the platform where I do news geeky stuff. But anyways, I kind of showed him all the library. I do have one of his advice books on personal finance and stuff like that. I forget the name of the book offhand. Forgive me. I had brought it on one of my trips to Vegas. Um, didn't get a chance to read it because when you go to Vegas for trade shows, you don't really have the time. You bring all this crap with you. Like I'm digital, but I'm very analog, so yeah, so that's all of my pokes. There might be a couple more. It's the if we want to just get the camera, well, I can guide it to you again here. Just get the camera in here. There's the Macworld Secrets, which was kind of the precursor to the Missing Manual. Which that's kind of why I'm kind of sad to see these things go. His Macs for Dummies, which don't make fun of me. It's good to talk to layman people about the Macs. It's a good way if you want to talk to people like a help desk, like we talked about in the last block. The dummies are not inherent. And then I got the macOS Leopard missing manual. The Snow Leopard I think I got thrifted, but I did get Sierra because I wanted to kind of get up to date on the latest and greatest Mac OS stuff, and that's kind of what I don't like about the changes with Mac OS. And David Pogue is much more popular now. He's hosts Nova and stuff like that. So for those who are watching the streams, that's what's in my backdrop. All right, let's go back to the phones here on BCOP and BRSK 550. This is the TechBeat, your technology news program here. Let's go to Peter from Jackson Village. You have a question regarding audio streaming and production. I think I might help you on this one because I may have advice here. Jackson, you're on TechBeat. Let's try to plug in Jackson here. Peter, excuse me, I'm calling here. Peter, you're loose. Let's get Peter on here. Peter.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So one of my questions is, I do AV production, and we wanted to have an AV router solution for audio. We have different audio production points, and we have a multiple master outs. So I record and I stream on the same board, but I don't want the recorder or the streamer to be on simultaneously capturing audio because I have the two out. So how would you recommend me to do this?
So you need to get a headphone amplifier or a headphone mixer. I'm trying to find my B&H out
Okay?
to show you. And what it is you just turn up the volume on the you could get like four, because I'm thinking you're doing
Yeah,
quarter
it's
inch.
quarter inch
So you have,
going out.
right, so you have the quarter inch. So here's the example. If you're watching the stream here, you have four outs. And the idea is that you
So
can
how's
have
that
like
different from like a one of those rack mount mixers?
because you're going to need a lot of outs, not inputs, right? So you use a
Right.
headphone mixer, and then it's a cheap
Okay.
session. And I bought this for about I bought it for my production here because I do streams for multiple channels and multiple platforms. So what you do is you take your, because you have your two outs from your mixer, right? So you what you do is you take your two for each side and you fuse it to a stereo, and that gets your input, and then your output you put it on your four channels, so you get your 4-in-1 routing. If you watch on the stream, I'll link it on the show notes on TechBeat here, but that's basically what you do in that setup. It's inexpensive. I spent like $25 with shipping with my birthday money for my paternal grandmother. So that's what I would do.
Alright.
Recommend that. All right, thank you.
Alright, that makes sense.
All right, that makes
Alright,
sense.
thank you.
Good. Thank you, Peter. I think we have just amount of time, enough time to go to Christian, who wants to respond to on ubiquity. You have a thing on ubiquity. Christian, you're on TechBeat.
I'm here to call to respond to a few of your callers in recent weeks about ubiquity, and I know you're not familiar with ubiquity.
Right.
We like it because it works. We have owned their equipment for more than for more than like 3 years, and it works. We don't have to replace the switches. They just work, and for a lot of us who don't have a lot of servers, it works. It's great for like networking devices. That's how I recommend it, my friends.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Christian. Do you have any? I mean, because the thing is, you have a lot of devices.
Yeah, it's good for devices. I can't speak for the people who have servers. If you probably want to stick with Cisco and all that stuff. But for us, we have a lot of devices. We're proud of it. We don't have to deal with. We use the cloud, so that works for us. If you have a cloud or whatever, that's how we do things.
So yeah, that's kind of what
All
I
right,
think.
thank you.
All right, thank you. And yeah, if you have any personal experiences with ubiquity, just let us know so we can make sure the public is well informed. Is my theme here on TechBeat. CNET's reporting this week that cryptocurrency is facing a quantum computing problem. Two cutting-edge technologies that promise to revolutionize entire fields might be on a collision course. CNET reported yesterday that cryptocurrencies are holding the potential to change finance, eliminating middlemen and bringing accounts to millions of unbanked people around the world. The quantum computers may upend the pharmaceuticals and materials that are designed by bringing extraordinary power to the process. Here's the problem. The blockchain accounting technology that powers cryptocurrencies could be vulnerable to sophisticated attacks and forged transactions if quantum computing matures faster than its efforts to future-proof digital money. I think this is too risky, if you ask me. Cryptocurrencies are secured by technology called public key cryptography. Oh, yes, that. The system is ubiquitous, protecting your online purchases and scrambling your communications for anyone other than the intended recipient. The technology works by combining a common public key that one that everyone can see, and a private key that's for your eyes only. If current progress continues, quantum computers will be able to craft public key cryptography, potentially creating a serious threat to the crypto world, where server and currencies are valued at hundreds of billions of dollars. Alright, we'll get to that in a moment. We'll take that and take a couple of your calls to close out this edition of TechBeat here on Saturday, November 13th, 2021. Time goes by so quick. BCLP news time, 2:45.
This is a
First Natalie Lozano at the BCOP 24-hour traffic center for the latest matters. What are you seeing? This from the BCOP Weather Center. It's going to be seasonably average, except for later in the week we may test the highs of the 60s. There might be a chance of snow for next weekend, with precipitation about 40% chance. Repeating current temperature, it's 54 going up to 57 in downtown Copenhagen. Just a programming note, if you want to enjoy this Thanksgiving with some style, listen to BCOP 990 at 11 o'clock Thanksgiving morning. We'll have the live events from the downtown Copenhagen on the Thanksgiving parade, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on BCOP 990 Thursday morning at 11 a.m. and a replay at 4. BCOP News Time 2:47.
What time am I coming back on? 2:51. Oh, okay, so I have to read the... Oh, really? Cool. That's cool. Alright, cool. I can... Oh, great. Cool. Alright, sure. I could do an hour. Roughly. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you so much for letting me know. Is this standard? We could do this down the road? Alright, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh-huh. 251? Right. Damn. Alright, that's cool. Thank you so much.
All right, that's good to know. Can you hear me? Oh, jeez, do we have... Why am I not hearing myself? Is there a signal problem? I hope you're hearing me. Hello? Real static here. Okay, hello? 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 What just happened? I can't hear a signal. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Why is there... Oh, jeez. Kill the signal. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't know what happened there. I just had a storm.
This is a programming note from MECOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford from Clickford Media Services.
And welcome back to TechBeat here. Can I get back to my program here? What's going on there? What's going on there? Thank you. We're doing it's what happens when you do simulcasting on your own. It's why I need X keys. Right now you're seeing a shot of my workspace here. That it's actually a real life lab. But if you look a little bit closely, it resembles, does it resemble you? Some of you guys are watching the stream. Um, I'm having pose penny right now. Let's try it. There. Can I move it? All right. I'm a little bit stiff here, so actually, just a quick little thing. We're gonna be running on a special extra edition. You have to watch us on BCOP TV's YouTube page to get more information. So we'll be continuing the talk today due to our preemption. Let's continue because I only have 5 minutes left of programming left for today on air. Actually, if you're watching the stream right now, you can actually see. Does that look like a Genius Bar workspace to you? It's kind of I built that for a set design actually, and actually once upon a time was actually going to do something like that. Anyhow, let's continue on the subject on quantum computing here. Once quantum computing becomes powerful enough, then essentially all security guarantees go out of the window. Don Song, a computer security entrepreneur and professor at University of California, Berkeley, told the Collective Forecast Forum in October when public key cryptography is broken, users could be losing their funds and the whole system will break. But makers of quantum computers are working hard to address those shortcomings. They're getting They're supplementing with more qubits into the machines and working on quantum error correction methods to help qubits perform more sophisticated and longer calculations. We expect that within a few years, successfully powerful computers will be available for cracking blockchains open, says Nar Menamberly, CEO of quantum software maker Classic Technologies. We expect that even in a few years, sufficiently powerful computers will be available for making blockchains open. Oh, sorry about that. The good news for cryptography fans is that quantum computing problems can be fixed by adopting the same post-quantum cryptography technology that's already been begun developing at the U.S. government's National Institutes of Standards of Technology, or NEST. Getting ahead of the problem is several years a careful process to find quantum-proof cryptography algorithms with involvement of researchers around the globe, says CNET. There's multiple approaches. Um, there, there's multiple different approaches to that. The problem with decentralized governance is a big issue. If I were you, many crypto currencies like Bitcoin are decentralized by design, overseen by anyone who participates in each cryptocurrency network. To update the cryptocurrency's inner workings, more than people trying to upgrade a cryptocurrency that must convene more than half of the participants to fork the cryptocurrency into a new version. The real quantum test for cryptocurrencies is the governance structures technology, says Hunter Jensen, a senior technology officer at Permission.io, a company um, that using cryptocurrency for a targeted advertising system. Several such governments reward currencies that have stronger central powers, and such as Dash and Smash or even Gov coins issued by central banks. But it presents a conundrum of a crypto community which restricts the idea of authority. You can never seem to win. Um, this could go on and on. There's different things. Although cryptocurrencies, organic and self-directed development suggests that people should update the digital asset technology to surmount quantum computing challenges, says David Sacco, who teaches at University of New Haven. The beauty of this ecosystem is that if anyone could do it if they understand the technology. Well, the problem is a lot of people don't understand the technology because you kind of put a different, you guys make things so complicated in the first place. Apologies if there is some audio there. We're trying to work on some issues with the audio. I think the grounding is a little bit screwed up here. So apologies of that if your ears are popping. If you're listening to earbuds, this is why you want to listen to our AM radio on BCOP 990 or BRCK in Mainland. But we are going to have to go on a hard break. This is TechBeat. We're going to start the 3 o'clock hour. If you watch us on our live stream, we'll continue on our talk and read you some more stories because we do have to break. Have a good one. Stay informed. This is Stephen Clifford.
Apologies for that. I'm very sorry. I will try to get it fixed for the live stream. Am I going to hand off to the top? Yep. All right. I'm handing off to the top. Okay. Thank you.
This show has been brought to you by TechieCrafts, techieCrafts.clickford.net. Use BCOP 990 on the Etsy checkout. We have budget technical goodies for your techie people in your life, including this Betacam grade thing. If you love videotapes and you got some videotape, I made this for somebody named wanted, but you use that multiple techie themed stuff, including customized solutions like podcasting and stuff like that. Just check it out. It's techiegraph.clickfor.net and use the promo code BCOP990 at checkout.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231 272 9949. 231 272 9949.
BCOP news time at the tone will be 3 o'clock.
In the spirit of government, news, traffic, and weather, this is BCOP, BCORFM, and BCOE AM 1.
I don't know why the tone did. I did not hear the tone when I don't get it. Oh, yeah, it didn't play out properly. They're gonna have to redo the board here. All right, so this hour is basically the your ask me anything literally apparently apparently where we are just talking with producers back. They said we you don't have to we can give you a 2 hour show. It'll just be on I think D2 and on or at least on stream. I don't know if we're gonna be on D2. Um, but we'll see what we can do here on BCOP here. So just I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll come back at 3:04. Apologies for the clicking. Sounds it's deafening me too. So we'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome. Well, the in Jersey. Who cares about Jersey? All right, hold on here. All right, testy 1, 2, 3. All right. Welcome to this extended edition of TechBeat. I've been blessed by the BCOP management that I can do the show for a little bit extra longer here. Um, I kind of had a late start today, so I was able to. Sometimes my shows are a little bit harder to do. So if you have any tech questions, you can ask me on the various channels here while I do some stuff here. Taking your questions here. Do you have a couple callers? Because that crypto story was really heavy. I was like, oh, it was too much. Oh, Brian Cooley's still kicking on CNET. He's doing how to winterize your car's battery. Is this a video clip or is this because he's been on the TV or radio side? I'm surprised he's still at CNET. Apparently it's an article. They like to bring you to Amazon, I guess. Yeah, there's no Cooley on cars. Let's see if we can get some Brian Cooley footage because I've heard him in a long time. I mean, I would say Brian Cooley's kind of like my inspiration for my tech show, but I have to keep a certain style, or the management BCLP will play me off. So let's see if there's some more colors or video. Let's see if he does a video. Oh, it's gotta be. Let's see if this one plays while in that. Cooley on cars. This is the loosey goosey hour since we don't have to deal with any hard breaks. They told me we could do this even after 4. So I don't know how the heck I could do a tech show if I'm up against tech, the sports stuff, which, don't get me started why it's on all news, but again, why am I on an all news format myself? I tend to wonder about that, whatevs. Here, let's listen to some Cooley on cars, as we say around here.
A source of YouTube fascination to a why wouldn't you have one device. But with a few notable exceptions, like Tesla's Sentry Mode, they remain frustratingly rare as factory equipment. So here are my tips on how to select the best aftermarket dash cam using examples of some of the best ones out there right now.
Dash cams, ooh, nice.
Quick refresher, at its most basic, a dash cam is like so. It records constantly, looking forward out the windshield. It automatically saves a clip when it detects a collision. It can wake up and record if it detects an impact, like when parked, and it's easy to install with either an adhesive patch or a suction cup. But beyond that basic profile of options, there's a whole lot else to think about. Here are some examples. Now let me show you the Garmin Mini 2, which has one of my absolute favorite features in all of dash camery. It's mini. I love small dash cams, all other things being equal, because up here at the top of your windshield is a pretty crowded neighborhood these days. Obviously you've got a sun visor, then you've got a mirror, obviously, and then you've got a bunch of sensors up here these days. The good thing about this is it doesn't add much clutter. The downside of a tiny dash cam is, what do you have to give up to get it this small? For example, on this one, which by the way is a quality brand name model, you still don't get 4K resolution. Today, a lot of folks want 4K because it allows them to zoom in when they look at a clip later and maybe read a license plate that you couldn't read in 1080 resolution. Secondly, there's obviously no screen on this one. If you want a screen on your dash cam, you want a bigger dash cam. So this one uses entirely a Wi-Fi connection to your phone. Let's talk about the tyranny of the power cable. Look at the dash cam.
Yes.
Now, look at its power cable. The power cable is actually bulkier than the camera. Now, obviously, it's not all going to sit here. It's going to be strung around the car. So take care to run this carefully. Up over your headliner trim, down your A-pillar garnish, snake it along a crevice in your dashboard, and then you'll plug it into a USB adapter like this to get the power. If any of this makes you blanch, go to a 12-volt, an auto stereo store, and just tell them you need help installing your dash cam. They might look at you saying, really? But just have them do it, because they can do a really clean job if this doesn't seem familiar to you. And it's worth it in the long run. Don't clutter up your car. Now, before I show you the next camera, the Nexar Beam GPS, let me show you how I'm going to mount it up here, because you want to think about mounts if you have multiple cars that you're going to use your camera in. Many of them use a permanent adhesive patch, and that's great. They tend to stick like mad and never let go. But this one's interesting because it has one of those little sticky, gummy suction cups on the back that you often...
I'm not going to go that long, but yeah, it was cool to kind of see Brian Coley on cars. I was on CNET getting some of my news. I get my new tech news from CNET. I know it's kind of go to CNET, try to find like newsy stuff, and there's I'm not into The Verge or the other guys, not the really news stuff. I'm not Business Insider is very clickbaity and stuff like that. So that's why I try to stick to like their traditionals, especially for the audience here on All News here. I haven't done a phoner with the radio station, so only just I just haven't had the chance to get things. Just have not had a chance here. I'm just gonna say goodbye to my Instagram friends. You can follow me on BCOP TV on YouTube, folks. BCOP TV. I'll put a comment on your. Let's put that in there. Okay, put that on there and promote that with my friends here. We're gonna take a quick break. I need to eat something I haven't eaten because I've been doing pre-production, and I will I'll show you some of my tech lab stuff since we kind of have free time. I really appreciate. Thank you, Channel 6. We've been great teams here to kind of help me just kind of do some stuff here. So we'll do some more tech stuff. I'll take a call or two, and then come back on the other side here. So I might be back at 2:20, but don't worry, we don't have to do hard breaks. That's a great thing here. We don't have to deal with any hard breaks here. So we'll take a quick break here. This is the TechBeat Extra. I don't know how we're gonna do this here. This is a really great thing. Thank you. All right. knows what happened. So this is the extended edition here on TechBeat here on BCOP TV's YouTube channel. I'm here to talk about technology questions and information you need to know to make a smart decision with the mind of a tech journalist. We got Pat and Errol on board right now. Let's go to Pat first. He has a question on voice over IP. Let's go to Pat. Pat, you're on the air. You're on the air on our alternate platform here. Hello, Pat.
Hello there, how are you?
Good. How are you?
So I have a question. You talk about voice over IP. Well, we have a voice over IP service provider that's using VoIP.ms, and
Right.
we are still having problems, but our phones don't go to VoIP.ms. So we can put like a landline on our phone.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, we have a phone system.
Correct. So you have a
I
phone
think
system,
it's a box.
right? It's a box. So if it's a big box, it must be a phone system. And then,
Well, there's a box that goes to the big box.
so that's where your voice over IP is terminating. So it's on an analog box that converts the
But our
internet.
salespeople want us to put like this pure VoIP stuff on our desktops, replace our phones. What should we do about that?
I would not recommend that, to be honest with you. I don't like these rip and replace solutions. I recommend that you just use those little boxes, or just
Okay.
or if you're going to do that, make sure there's a box in your building to protect yourself.
Okay.
I would recommend it,
All right,
especially
good to know.
motor control.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, you're welcome, Pat. Let me add on to what I mean by a SIP border control. We're going to do or SIP proxy. A SIP proxy is basically, I don't know if this is, it's going to work here because I'm running this on the Mac. I should be running on Windows here. This is from OnSIP. This is a VoIP provider, a SIP provider. They describe it as a grand central terminal of its network. SIP traffic is sent there, and it's sent there on its way to a different place. When someone calls you, the message is sent to the SIP proxy. Then the SIP proxy knows where the phone is, so it can relay the message to your phone. It then acts as an intermediary between you and the other caller. SIP does more. In fact, our SIP proxy does a bit more than what's just described. So this is typical in a lot of businesses that have the big the web proxies, right? You know, it's really like one or two things that are exposed to the internet. So when you're surfing the web, you're getting you're only going through one thing. Like when you go on the web, it's actually retrieving it from a server that if you go like CNN.com or something like that, and if other people have gone to CNN.com, it keeps like some of the media, like the pictures, the images, the text, and all that. So it's not like every computer's going out on the internet directly, and that's what you really should be doing with SIP, in my opinion. Particularly, it's SIP. The funny thing about SIP is, it's funny, I cannot. The problem with, or at least the thing with SIP, is it mimics the web in that form here. Let's go to Errol, if I can get Errol online here. Errol's got a question on M1. Errol, you're on the air.
Hi, I have a question regarding these new Macintosh computers here, or Macs, excuse me. I'm a little bit old school. Can you tell me what these M1 Macs are really going to do for the most, people that like to do creative stuff, and will I lose features if I upgrade? And also, what what other gotchas do you have with regards to the new Macs? I'll take
Well,
the answers up there.
okay, thank you, Errol. The M1s are designed so Apple could do more things on, allegedly more things on your Mac. But the thing is, it's becoming they're literally fusing the MacBooks and iPads, the iMacs and the larger iPads. It's kind of what they're doing. They're kind of like fusing these two things. I, for one, don't think this is really the smartest thing to do if you asked me. I'm a cynic on this. I just think that Apple, maybe we got spoiled with it. I mean, Macs were open. Mac OS 10 was an open system, um, whether you like it or not. And I think it in turn is just going to um, longer down the road. I don't know. I just don't think it's sending the, I don't know. I have my reserves on it. I can't give you a clear answer on that, Errol, but thank you for the call. So I'm gonna just close this out. If you have some news gathering professionals here, let me know here on the if you have any broadcasting discussion here. Just let me know here. Um, okay, all right. I'm gonna take a quick break. I know we would on our linear feed we would be normally breaking here, but I just do you have any other colors? Or are we all done? Because I don't have today. It's been a slow week for news. All right, we're all done. All right, so I'm just gonna call it today. Thank you for watching the extra stream. We hope that this will be a new thing down the road here, but I'm gonna take the break here today. Thanks for everybody for watching or listening, and we'll come back next week. I will be off. Um, I will be off on the Thursday after not the Thursday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I will be off on that day. Won't be doing. I may do a tape. Um, we're not sure what we're gonna do, but we'll be off that day. So anyhow, that's just 2 weeks away. So just thought I'd give you that advance warning. Then we'll do a Christmas episode, holiday edition as well. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Bye.